Alright, well, we should have started by now, assuming that everything is going well, which I think it is. Let me just double check with my stream.
Yep, I can see it.
Alright, so, oh, it's teleported. So, hello everyone, although I don't think that too many people are in the chat room yet, but this is DM Tim with Matthew here. So,
Hey, there we go.
alright. And we are doing some AltspaceVR, which is a program I just got today, actually. It's free, and Matthew is he does some apps in AltspaceVR.
Yep,
So
making some board games and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, and I was just showing off some websites and stuff. So AltspaceVR is a virtual environment. You can kind of think of it as kind of like Second Life with VR, and you know, somewhat more updated graphical capabilities. I mean, as you can see, there's nice, bump lighting and specular lighting on this wall and things like that. And so yeah, and I think this is the home theater, right, Matthew?
Yep, home theater. Yep.
All right. So there's a bigger theater for more people, and that's actually in space, which I kind of like. But there's also a D&D tavern, which I think is where we're going to head off to now, because this was originally a D&D stream. In fact, the event that I put on my Facebook page said that it was a D&D stream. So let's head there. Is that all right with you, Matthew?
Yep, I'll jump in there right now.
All right. And wow, that was a really fast loading. So with this, you use the right mouse button to look around, or well, to turn your body. You actually use a VR headset if you have one to look around. And with the left mouse button, you can also teleport. So I'm not sure how long it will take Matthew to get in here. I'm going to take a look at this. So this is the D&D table. Oh, there's Matthew. You made it in. So just showing people the Dungeons & Dragons table. So as you walk around, this character sheet thing here is actually it's private. And make sure I'm not getting anything wrong, Matthew. So you can do things like,
I can't see it, but only you can.
yeah. So this is private, and you can select different characters. It looks like it's only going to level 10 right now, and this is going to be expanded later. I don't know. Oh, and Ben is online, and he says, "What's up?" Just previewing some. There we go. Just previewing some AltspaceVR. So, yeah, so this character sheet is private, and you can have a drow, rogue, dwarf cleric, a whole bunch of options. And I'm sure that there will be more options to come. And, so yeah, you can place tokens on the board. There's dice. I'm not sure how to get rid of the dice once they've been rolled.
You should just be able to click on them.
No, it was a little trash can thing here. Oh, look at that. And so you can stack up a bunch of dice by continuing to click on them, roll them, and then, yeah, 8, 6, 14, and 9. And then this pink shape will get rid of them. So yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. It's a little basic right now. As you can see, there's not very many monsters. So there's that page and then this guy. So we got, what is that? Gelatinous cube. Looks like an ogre. A green dragon. A thing. A drider. A red guy. A spider. Looks like a drow mage. A skeleton. And I think a were-rat. Then over here you got on the second page, a guy. Not really sure what he is. And sorry, I've got a lingering cough from my cold. So, Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can also get tiles. So I'm not sure exactly. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. So you can place tiles for map purposes. And you can lock the tiles with the lock button. So place a tile. There we go. Unlock it. And I place a tile. And I lock it. Yeah, you can't move the tile, but you can move the tokens still. So, Matthew, have you used the D&D Tavern before?
I've only seen it played a little bit, but basically the way they set it up is they usually go over here to the campfire, and just tell stories and do that kind of stuff to start off with. They sometimes start in the tavern and then they go on the journey. The board behind you, they most likely they throw up pictures of either the enemies or sometimes music as well,
Oh, very
in-game
nice.
music. Yep. And then yeah, everyone's got their own tomes, and they can just put anything up there. They don't have to have what's on there. They can put up any other website they want. But yeah, it's all private. So if they do play any videos or anything like that, you won't hear it. But the one thing that someone was doing here was playing a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon on the screen while they were playing, which was pretty cool.
All right. Now, it's just the tomes that are private. That screen is public, right?
Yep, that's public. It's only the tomes that are private. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty cool, and I would really like to give this a try, especially if a few more tokens get added. Because, like I said, the tokens are a little bit, um, they're a little limited right now. So, yeah, I think this is the start of a really cool idea. You can come here and play a whole bunch of D&D, and now I want to see, are these swords just a sticker? Oh no, they're there. They're physical. Well, 3D physical. Now,
Well, one thing that they did have, which is only available in the events, not this place, which is basically the same room. They've got where you can select your weapon and it actually mounts on the back of your avatar. So when you walk around the place, you can have like a sword or a staff, that kind of stuff.
now that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So they
That
just
is awesome.
introduced that, yeah.
That's really cool. And so, oh yeah, look at that. You got all the dice that you need, including very, very handily the 100 marked and the 10 marked die, so you can roll a d100. So, hooray, 64. I like that. So yeah, I'm very happy with this D&D room. The only complaint I have is that it needs a little bit more, um, and it needs a few more enemy tokens, or perhaps a search function for enemy tokens. That would also be nice. But yeah, we've got. I mean, this is a nice tavern. You want to check it out with us, Matthew?
Yep, sure.
All right. So we got a bar over here with bar stools. Which, since Matthew, I don't know if you know this, but this is Repeal Day here in the States. You know anything about that?
I do not.
So you're aware that the United States had alcohol prohibition for about 13 years or so, right?
Yep.
Well, December 5th is the day that the Constitution of the United States was changed to re-allow alcohol consumption and production.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so in 1933, on December 5th, the state of Utah ratified the 21st Amendment, which re-allowed alcohol for, most purposes. And so it is appropriate that I'm here behind a bar on Repeal Day.
And I'm drinking a cider.
I have some cider. I might get one. Not sure. So, is this the only bar in AltspaceVR?
Yeah, so the rooms are a bit different. Obviously, depending where you go. So let's have a look. Let's open the room spaces. So you've got obviously the cinema that you're talking about is in space.
Yeah.
You've got like a desert island and like a tiki hut in there. Halloween just passed, so they've got a Halloween village that we just explored just before.
That was before the stream
Then they've got
started.
an exhibit. Yeah. Then they've got an exhibition space, which is just kind of like a big room, big TV, usually for meetings and that kind of stuff. Obviously, the home theater that we just were in before. They've got a little personal space, which is a very small room looking out into space. So you've got a few planets and that kind of stuff. You've got a nice tea garden area where it's kind of zen-like. Um,
Yeah, the
and
tea
yeah,
hut
main
area is
thing
where
really
we
got is
met, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it's really that's just about it. They've got a main space where everyone comes in when they first come in, a welcome space. And
Right.
then there's a space specifically for people to play around with a bunch of apps. And that's about it.
So, is there one that you think that people would really like to see?
I think the tea garden probably is what people would like to see. It's quite nice, done very well.
All right. Well, let's head to the tea garden real quick.
Okay.
So, here I am in the tea garden, and I want one. Oh, there you are, already. So, this is the tea garden, and
Yeah,
it's
so
actually much bigger than this.
yeah, so they've done quite a good job
Oh, look at that.
in making this
It's got a very Japanese theme.
yep. Yeah, it's meant to be based off a Japanese tea house.
It's very nice. Now, I haven't actually been to a Japanese tea house. I've only been to a Korean tea house. But I imagine they're not too dissimilar. Look at all this.
Style wise, maybe possibly somewhat similar, but in general, yeah, the very similar practices.
Yeah. Oh, this is like a Zen garden over here. I didn't even notice this.
Yep.
Look at this. You got like...
And funny enough, that's actually they've hidden a bunch of DK2 development kit to virtual reality headset around the place.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Just teleported into something like nothing.
Yeah, so you can, depending where you are, you can teleport onto the rocks.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Can I teleport into these boats? Yeah, I can.
Yep.
Look at that. So one of the things I was mentioning earlier is that I think they did a great job bump mapping the wood in this program. And bump mapping wood is something that I have never been terribly good at. So kudos to the developers. So, now...
Do you want to show them the big screen?
Yeah, let's do that. What do you want to show them? Where'd you go? I lost you.
In the boat.
Oh, there you are.
So, what can we show them? Let's see, we can go to YouTube, just grab some random video.
Alright, try not to grab anything that's going to have too many copyright claims made against me when I upload this to YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't want to show them something that's like going to get taken down because it's like a full episode of Star Trek or something, I don't know.
Okay, I will give you a classic movie that is in public domain.
Public
Called Picture of
domain.
the Moon.
Le Voyage dans la Lune. Which is indeed public domain. This is one of the earliest movies made. It is, I believe, the first sci-fi movie ever made.
Yeah, I believe it is, yes.
In fact, I think
Fantastic movie.
I think this might actually be the first example of a scripted film that was actually telling a story in history. So before this, there was Cinéma Vérité, which was basically people taking cameras out and filming people just going about their business. And I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me or anything. Don't cite me as a source in your history papers. But if my history is good, and I am a history major, so let's hope so, this is in fact the first scripted fiction film.
Yep, I believe it is.
So, now this normally would have had a score, but is there just no sound on this video, or...
I think there's just no sound on this video. Yeah, I think this one is the original web app. The
Okay.
So yeah, obviously, obviously to everyone else, you play YouTube videos and we'll play the video and the audio to everyone in the room, so you can watch movies and everyone can watch it at the same spot.
Now I'm going to show people how that works, what buttons to press. So just give me 1 second.
Sure.
So this is your UI, and it kind of follows you. Sorry, it follows you around. So when you click it, you can go to Web, and you can, it has automatically some various icons, and this button over here, which is the broadcast. And so if you're close enough to a screen, it will broadcast what you have up as. It'll put that up on the screen. So Ben says that he thought the first sci-fi movie ever made was Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. And Ben, you should know just by the title of that movie that cannot possibly be the case. There was Star Trek: The Motion Picture before it, which was a terrible movie. And then there was Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, which was great. And then there was Star Trek III, which was mediocre and only really significant because it introduced the Klingon language, with Christopher Lloyd as one of the first people to ever speak it.
And they changed the way the Klingons looked as well.
Well, they did that in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, actually.
Oh, that's right, yes. I keep forgetting that's the first one.
Yep, so the first one, actually, so technically the first instance of Klingon as a language other than English is actually in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And so what happened was, the guy that normally plays Sarek, Spock's father, Sarek didn't have a part in that movie, but Gene Roddenberry wanted him to participate. So he played the Klingon captain on Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And Jimmy Doohan, who plays Scotty, or who played Scotty, came up with some random Klingon-y sounds that then the Klingon captain used in that movie. And then when it came time for Star Trek III, Mark Okrand, who created the Klingon language, actually backfit those lines from the motion picture into his language that he was creating for Star Trek III. So even though Klingon wasn't actually a real language until Star Trek III, if you know Klingon, the Klingon from Star Trek: The Motion Picture still makes sense.
Oh. The more you know.
Yeah, I know. I know absurd amounts of crazy trivia, so that's how it goes. So, what else in this tea room do you think is worth showing people?
Well, there's a nice little art kind of space above here.
Okay.
Like a little sand garden over here.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. I feel like I shouldn't walk in it, even though I know there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll disturb something. Because, I mean, you don't want to walk in a real Zen garden. That would be terrible.
Well, exactly. So they've got the Great Wave picture here.
Now, that is nice.
Which is a very popular Japanese art print. Got some music here as well.
Oh, yeah. This is really cool. Look at that. Oh, and I noticed the canvases have a nice canvas texture overlay too.
Yeah.
That is
yeah,
nice.
they've definitely got attention to detail in all this.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm actually
Here,
impressed.
you can see this little boat out there as well.
Oh yeah, a little like what do you call it? I don't even know what you call those.
Sail ship, I guess.
Right. Just sail ship. Although Ben does say
you can't get out there. It's blocked.
So Ben does say that Star Trek 1 and 2 were science facts. So apparently my buddy Ben thinks that Star Trek 1 and 2 were science fact. I disagree, but I currently can't prove that. So, is there any... I noticed that earlier you were using that big cubic space that we can see out the window. Is there anything you want to show people out there?
Yes. So sure. So if we click in down there. Yep.
Alright, I managed to teleport through the
So
window.
Yep. Yeah. So if you click anywhere, you can kind of teleport, which is awesome. Or you can just walk as well.
Right, and
So
teleporting
I'm
is left click.
assuming. Yeah. So I'm assuming you're seeing like a kind of like a Tron cube behind you.
Yeah, I'm seeing what looks kind of like an all-black Rubik's Cube, which seems really easy to solve.
Yeah. So if you actually click that.
Alright. Oh!
Yep. So this is actually 3D tic-tac-toe.
Oh! How do I...
So if you click on the little color bar to say that you're that player.
Alright, so I'm magenta now.
Yep. And then select a cube and click it.
Alright.
Okay.
Although I selected magenta, I see that my color is green. Now, do diagonals work in this?
Yes. So this is just a test I've been making. Like that's why the colors don't match what you're clicking. But in general, this was just a coding practice to make sure I can put all these cubes here, but also run code to make sure that every single possibility is matched as a possible win.
Okay. So, if one of us wins, will something actually happen?
So if one of us wins, the cubes will spin around to show you which is the winning one, and it's a little bit of text will pop up at the top. It's just debug text at the moment, but yeah, I'm hoping to get the cubes to hover a little bit up and down. Just in general, just make it a bit more nice looking.
All right. Well,
just a quick test.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you win because it looks like you're one away, and then we'll see what happens.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So I have just left open a oh, look at that. The blue ones are spinning. I like it. And there's that text is I think a bit small.
Yeah. So that's just a debug text. It's just to make sure that yes, it has picked up the correct player. So in general, some big text will pop up there saying blue player wins or green player wins, that kind of stuff.
Now I notice that you've used teal and magenta.
Yeah. So I've only just been playing around with different colours and all that. I think probably standard red blue will be used once it's finished, but this was just more a coding exercise than anything.
All right. No, I'm impressed. I am not a coder. As you saw, I do a little bit of computer-based art, but that is basically the extent of my technical skills.
Well, honestly, making stuff like this isn't very hard. It's actually all this is actually a web browser. This is actually running 3JS, which is a 3D JavaScript program.
Okay.
So if you know how to make HTML and all that stuff, it's very easy to get something into AltspaceVR like this.
Well, if there's any viewers that are into that, I mean, give it a go and see what you can make. Because now you could also put such a thing on a web page that doesn't have to run inside AltspaceVR, right?
Exactly. Yep. So you can do normal web pages or on the big screen, or this allows multiplayer kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I've just loaded another program I've got, which is basically a cube builder, where you can build cubes and build structures and that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's kind of like Legos.
Yep.
Although I'm probably now going to get hit with some kind of like crazy lawsuit or something.
Now you can hit Z to change the texture of your cube.
Now I've hit the Z, or if you will, the Z key, and I'm not seeing anything happening.
So the little green box you've got where you're going to place your cube, if you hit Z, does that change at all?
I'm not seeing it change.
Oh, okay. Well, it's changing on my side. But yeah, so it might just be Might just be a little bug at the moment because we're still ironing out all these details, kind of thing.
All right.
And yeah, if you want to get rid of a block, you hit space. It explodes.
I seem to be having trouble with that.
Try clicking out of the space and coming back in. Like move out of the square where those little white pegs are in this corner.
All right. Well, I moved out. Now I'm coming back in. It's still a little buggy for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's still being worked on.
Oh,
In general, yeah, there's
but my Z and X keys are working. So.
excellent. Yeah, so you can only blow up your own cube.
Oh, maybe
With
that's the
space
problem.
bar.
Oh, got it.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, currently, obviously, Dungeons and Dragons is one of the apps. There's a little tank game, building blocks here. There's kind of there's one called Interstellar Defense. I guess you could call it maybe Space Invaders, kind of. You're more on a turret trying to shoot these things flying at you. We've got chess, obviously. We've got a few other apps here and there. But in general, yeah, a lot of the stuff hasn't been released yet. They're still being made, but Altspace is, encouraging the community to make some stuff and is helping them any which way they can.
Well, that's pretty cool. I like it. And hey, look, I put my name in there. All right, that's pretty cool. So, are there any other rooms that you think people would really like to see?
Let's have a look. In general, most rooms, they're all different, but they're all kind of serve a different purpose. Like Desert Island is just really if you kind of want to, have a kind of private space to chill out where it's nice and sunny. Then there's a personal space which is in actual space, which is a small one. There's a mirror space place where you can actually see your avatar, so that might be a good one to check out.
Yeah, let's go there. Off to mirror space, everyone. Hello. All right, so this is mirror space. Oh, there you are.
So there's a little mirror over there.
Oh, look at that. There I am.
Now the cool thing is you can do little avatars above your head as well, just if you can't speak at that moment.
That's down here. You got these little emoticons here.
Yep, so clap, hold, love, don't like, silly, happy.
There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of like a futuristic city out there as well.
That is nice. I like this arc building here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a bit low poly,
Got
but I
lots of
mean,
little buildings.
what are you gonna
Yeah.
expect?
Well, they got
Oh, they got models.
drawings of the and drawings of the buildings above as well, all the spaces.
Look at that. It's pretty nice. It's cozy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously it's very small, but there's a few things you can do, and it's kind of more for working if you're building websites, that kind of stuff. With Altspace, because it's all web browser based and all that, you can actually modify web pages and all that stuff. Like I've actually every time I make it, I'm coding actually in Altspace. I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. So it's handy for that kind of stuff. Plus, I can see if people come in, that kind of stuff.
Now, there's another rectangular, or maybe it's a cube here.
Yeah, so that is a what you call a mini app space. So if we let's launch that.
Oh, there are fish.
So this is a flying fish app, yeah. But it's a very small app. But obviously, if you go in it, it's kind of cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, and they have larger app spaces as well, where it takes over the whole environment. So with that kind of stuff, you have it going everywhere.
Now, the app space that we saw in the tea, is it tea garden?
Yeah, that's big garden.
Now, that was a large app space, if I'm right.
That was that's probably the middle one. There's the
Okay.
one that encompasses the whole tea garden as well. Um, but obviously, if you load up something like this, or maybe chess, the chess pieces are like 40 foot high, and obviously you can't play chess like that.
No, that
But
does seem a little
the
extreme.
certain apps, yeah, exactly, yeah. But certain apps, they are made for something that big.
Okay.
So like, say it comes Christmas time, you could literally have it where snow's falling down
Now, that's really
throughout the
cool. I
whole
like
level.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of
So if
of
you did the flying fish, you'd have the same thing.
speaking of this, the viewers haven't seen the mirror in the Halloween room. Think we should show them that?
Yes,
All
that'd be
right.
awesome.
All right. So we're gonna go to the Halloween room. Here it is. All right. So I really like this room. It's got a great background track, and I mean, it's got these nice villages, a gigantic moon. It's just very atmospheric. I really like it. By the way, you can hold shift to walk faster if the walking speed is too slow for you. Which, I mean, it's a virtual world, so everyone's always going to be holding shift, right? Alright, so here we've got this mirror, and it's a lot like the previous mirror. But, watch what happens as I get up to it. So we've got this creepy guy here. Oh, he just kind of disappeared a little bit. Oh, here he comes. But, nope, he's not here. Now, Matthew, I'm seeing you stuck through the ground. What's up with that?
I have no idea.
Alright, fair enough.
That's the first time I've been stuck everywhere. Yeah.
Alright, so here we have another screen that you can use as a web browser, if I'm being right about that.
Yep. So this was used to watch a bunch of horror movies with a bunch of people in here.
Now, see, that sounds really
Uh,
cool.
it's cool because you kind of hear everyone's screaming kind of like, at the same time, which is very funny.
That's really cool. And do you get people who talk up too much and you have to shush them? Shh.
Everyone, I think it's one of those things. Because Old Space is obviously new and it's in VR. When you're in VR, you actually tend to be a lot more have more social etiquette.
See, that's interesting because normally the internet is a place that I do not associate with social etiquette.
Exactly, yeah, but it's kind of weird because like when you're in VR, because you see the person, you see the head moving, all that stuff. It's it's not this far away place like you normally is on the internet. You kind of feel a connection to that person that they're there and you're talking to them. So it kind of rolls back your douchiness like you wouldn't do it in real life. So you kind of don't really do it in VR.
Yeah, no,
Not everyone's like that, but I mean it seems to be the standard so far.
I, I think there might be something to that, and I hope that that's the case because the as you say, the level of douchiness on the internet is far too high,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Like
so
as you said before, Second Life. You got a lot of people like that, but in here it just I guess because you've got that extra element of virtuality and you kind of feel you're physically here with people. You act like you normally would.
right now, if I may ask, what display device are you using? Are you using a VR headset or what?
Currently, I'm just using the desktop PC. This works in 2D mode on the monitor.
Right.
Normally, I have the headset, but I was just playing around with my game, just coding a bit, so it's easier to code with the screen. than it is with a headset at the
Okay.
moment.
Yeah, I'm using it with a just a monitor right now. I'm
Yep.
kind of holding out for the DK, or not the DK, the CV1 for Oculus Rift.
Yeah, that definitely should be quite good. I mean, DK2 is really good, but the resolution and just screen door effects and everything that's been fixed or improved a hell of a lot is fantastic with the CV1.
Yeah, the screen dooring for me, that's kind of a big thing because I don't like the idea of just taking them off and still having the screen door like afterglow.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the thing. Like with the DK2, you can watch a movie and it's okay, but it's really not the best. But with the CV1, it's the resolution and screen door effects has been minimized. Where watching a movie, you'd be happy to watch it in VR now.
that's really cool. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold out for that CV1 and then get that. And that should be coming out Q1 next year, right?
Yes, sometime in Q1, so it could be January, February, or March. I think maybe February, possibly March, but I think probably sometime in February.
I'll assume like March 20 something, and then I'll
Yeah,
be I'll be
roughly,
pleasantly
yeah.
surprised if it's before that.
Yeah, well, we already know that they've already made the headsets and they're ramping up production to make them.
It's
It's
true.
really just them trying to make sure they've got enough headsets when they do release it, so people don't have to worry about it being sold out.
Yeah, I'll probably buy two and then resell one on eBay for like $4,000 or something.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what happened when they had the first headset and the second headset. People were selling for like 800-900 bucks when it was $300 to buy.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, so that's actually something that I kind of approve of. So basically, what it means is the people who want the headsets the most are the ones who are going to get them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really happy with it just for the fact that they're development kits and devs are wanting them to specifically, make stuff for it.
Right.
So I mean, with the CV1, I'm happy with that. But I mean, when it's a dev kit and there's only a short supply and it can be like literally 2 or 3 months until you can get yours again,
Yeah.
it is very annoying.
It does seem like having it
But
as a
obviously, it's
public
ramped up.
release might not have been the greatest
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's one of those things. Like, you've got a lot of people that have been wanting virtual reality for years, so they just jump on it. They don't care there's a development kit. They just jump on it. Then you've got people like me that have loved virtual reality for years. Um, I think like I coded my first game on a Commodore 64,
Wow.
and yeah, yeah, I actually bought a book which was 100 pages, and every single page was just type this in to make this game. Very tedious, but yeah. So I hadn't made games, since I was like 10 or 12 kind of thing. But virtual reality wanted me to jump in, and I've started learning coding, started learning Unreal Engine, Unity, and 3GS now for Altspace. So yeah, it's actually made me want to make stuff and improve stuff.
Well, I gotta say that's pretty impressive to me. I don't really code. Don't don't touch that much. So I'm always impressed by people who have skill sets that I lack, and coding is one of those. And also, I have to let you know that by saying that you started coding when you were 10 years old on the Commodore 64, you have dated yourself.
Yes, 32. So I've gone through, was it a one megahertz computer all the way up to, the 3.2 gigahertz we've got now. So I've gone through every single bit of technology that that's happened.
Now, I gotta say, I'm actually. So, when I first heard about AltspaceVR, VR, I actually thought the graphics would be significantly lower quality than they are, just because of the fact that it's probably networking heavy and everything. But I'm actually impressed with this. It's not exactly like AAA game level, but for a shared space that has to have a lot of networking, especially with multiple web browsers going all the time and broadcasting web browsers and transmitting all this audio data and stuff like that, I'm impressed.
Yeah, they've done a very good job. The main thing that's happened in the past year is Unity and Unreal Engine. They've improved their game engines, and they've got a lot of fancy new features which makes stuff look just fantastic out of the box. And when you've got that kind of stuff combined with someone that's a fantastic, texture designer and all that stuff, you get stuff like Altspace where you got crazy bump mapping on, on
Even these
wood, and
carpets
you got
or these rugs.
glows. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like the little glow from the lantern and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just they just do a great job.
It's even got the shine on the edge of that rug there. Look at that yellow line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm quite impressed with AltspaceVR, and I hope it does well. Right now, it seems like there aren't very many people who are using it. Is that what you found?
Um, there's quite a lot of people that are using it, but it's mainly used for events at the moment. So you have a few people here and there. So like throughout the week, there's a lot of people. There's maybe 5 to 10 people on
Okay.
throughout the day. So you can talk to them, and it's quite nice. But when they have an event like movie viewing party or a tech talk or what they had yesterday was a um, what was it? It was a comedy, stand-up comedy, and the actual comedians were in this full VR suit called Perception
Oh,
Neuron, where you could see their arms and legs and everything move. So seeing them do the gestures while they're making the jokes and all that was pretty cool. And one lady actually picked up a guitar, and it was pretty funny because she's doing air guitar, but she's really playing on a real guitar
and
in
you
the
can
real
hear the
world.
real
So it
guitar,
looks like
right?
she's playing. Exactly. So it looks like she's playing air guitar. She's doing this joke song about bacon, and it was just hilarious because it's like she's really good at air guitar.
That's really cool. Yeah, I got to say, I'm impressed by this, and I think once I get myself a an actual headset, this may be one of my favorite things to do. It's gonna be this and Elite Dangerous, I think.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about Altspace is it supports everything. It supports Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, Samsung Gear VR. They're working on that support currently. They've also got motion controllers. So if you have a Microsoft Kinect,
Oh, right.
um, yep, the new version, you can use that, and you can actually put your arms and hands and legs into Altspace, move them around.
Very
They
cool.
also have Leap Motion, which lets you move your hands and fingers individually. So yeah, they're supporting a lot of motion controls and a lot of different hardware, so you can just have whatever kind of experience you want. You can be on the desktop, playing on your monitor, or you can be in full VR, moving your hands and everything. It all depends on how you want to play it.
Yeah, and I like that there's that kind of there's that compatibility where you can go all out with motion controls and a fancy VR headset and all that stuff. And your buddy can just like, nah, I just got the free program and I just use it on my monitor with a mouse. And that's cool, and that's fine. That it still works just fine.
Exactly.
As you guys can
Yeah.
see in
So
the chat bot or the chat room. I mean, this is just a monitor capture from a 2D monitor. I'm not doing any fancy 3D stuff here, and I mean, it's it works great. I can do all these things. I can watch movies. I can talk to people. No problem.
exactly, and that's the thing. You can do anything in this space. You can just talk to people. You can play games with app spaces, watch videos. I mean, we had a YouTube party. There was one other person with me, and then by the end of the night, we had maybe 10 to 12 people in the same thing, and they're all sending YouTube links up to the screen, and just it was hilarious.
Yep. Oh, can you excuse me 1 second? I'm sorry. Both the
Of
chat
course.
and Matthew. I'm sorry about that. I uh I had to respond to something real quick.
That's good.
It happens. Although I try not to let it happen while I'm streaming. Every once in a while, people they don't know that you're streaming and they send you all sorts of crazy things. So, um, I think I would like to show people at least one more space, and then talk to the
Sure.
chat room about whether or not they'd like to see me do something else or what. I mean, it's been coming up on an hour or so, so I might take a break from streaming and then stream something else later. But what space
Cool.
do you think people would like to see?
Let's have a look. You know what? Let's do the cinema with the huge space up in the
Oh
middle.
yeah, with the planet in the background and everything.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So this is actually a place that I have. Sorry, I have been before, and we're just gonna wait for Matthew to pop in here. Was that him? No. So this is cool because not only is there a gigantic cinema, you are in space. So yeah, that is. Oh, there he is. Hey there.
Is hey.
So these
So
screens
it's
that I'm
been a
seeing
while.
here, do they display what's on the main screen?
No, so they're just blank at the moment, but Altspace can obviously put up posters for movies they're going to be playing, that kind of stuff. But they're just blank
Oh,
at the current moment. And then you've got two app spaces. So there's one here and one over there, so you can have two apps going at the same time.
okay. Now let's go in and
And
show people the main screen.
sure,
Okay.
you want to go up the long way or the quick way?
Well, I think first, can you activate the screen from the sky seating, as it's called?
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Oh, well, let's go up the upstairs. It's more impressive that way.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So let's go this
It's
way.
nice outside.
All right. So you can see there's a planet here in the background. So the idea is, I guess you're in outer space. Oh, and someone's watching people make out, apparently. Well, there you go. I don't actually. Is anyone in here?
No, so someone must have been watching something it's probably on repeat. As soon as you watch something on YouTube and all that, as soon as it gets to the end, it repeats the same thing. So
Oh, and I can see that now. I can actually. Oh, I got the web button. Oh, and then it just went away.
yeah, I just took it off.
Oh, okay, that was you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now this is the kind of upper level seating. There's actually an even more high up level of seating up here that you can see. And then we've got the rows of seating down here. And I think I'm going to teleport off to the screen to show them just how big it is. If you want, you can pick something to stream to everyone.
Okay, well let's have a look here.
Oh, and apparently the other Matt, who's in the chat room, boos that you took off what Ben said looks like a porno. But sorry, while my stream is marked for mature audiences, just in case. This is not a pornographic stream, everybody. Oh, look at
There you go.
this!
You can see yourself in.
This is very meta here. While my stream is marked for mature audience.
Shavings? No.
There we go.
Savings.
So yeah, this
Get
screen is
Geico ad.
gigantic.
It's already over. Geico. 15 minutes could save
I
you
mean-
15% or more on car insurance.
Look at that. So yeah, this is a pretty great space. It's definitely equipped. It's definitely designed for more people. Gigantic.
Already over.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a look at this planet over here so we can see what it looks like. Unfortunately, I can't really jump or anything, but yeah, so it's very nice planet texture, or well, planet image, and I believe it's actually shedding light. Matthew, do you know if the environment lighting here is just a single ambient color, or is it actually a texture based?
No, as ambient color. What they do have is they actually bake the light mapping into the texture.
Oh, okay, so it's baked light mapping. All right.
Yeah.
Which I guess would help explain why there's no dynamic shadows for the avatars.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they obviously can add it, but I mean, it's a better, obviously, it's better performance wise.
Oh
Really
yeah,
better lights,
a
especially
lot
when
better.
you've got so many people. Yeah.
Which I guess also explains the
No,
fact that the transitions between one color and the next seem to be pretty fixed on the ground.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, one cool thing I think that people won't realize is we in old space everything is actually 3D audio. So if you got headphones on, I mean, you can hear me talking on the right side, hear me talking on the left side. So it's very natural. So if someone's behind you and they start talking, you actually instinctively know where they are, and you actually turn yourself around to see them.
Yeah, and I have noticed that when I was talking with you, and I don't think you'll be able to experience that on Twitch, because I'm pretty sure Twitch is just a mono, it's a single stream for
Oh, okay,
audio.
yeah.
I don't know that for
And they
sure, but I
also,
suspect.
yeah, and also it's all based on distance as well. So if I literally go
Yeah, I can barely hear you. Can you hear me at all?
yeah, so yeah, so if you obviously want to talk to someone privately, you literally just go into the corner and you're done. You know, you can talk to them, people won't hear you.
Yeah. Now, when there are a lot of people talking, does it start to get fairly loud or anything like that?
No, it actually works quite well. It seems to work pretty good when you're talking to a bunch of people. It doesn't seem like it makes it hard to listen to who's talking. I think it's because of the 3D as well. You kind of naturally look at the person that's talking, and it just seems to be a lot easier to follow when compared to like a online game where you know someone's talking, and you know you got a lot of people talking at the same time.
Okay. Well, I think this has been a pretty good tour of AltspaceVR, VR, and I think the last thing I will do is ask the chat room if there's any other locations that people would like to see, and I'm going to bring up the locations menu for spaces. So basically, the first person who suggests something, I'm probably just going to go there. And then after I look around there for a little bit, I think I'm going to take a break from streaming, maybe come back and stream something else. So I know there's a delay with the chat room. So while I'm speaking this, you probably haven't even heard the question. Ben says, let's play chess. I don't know if we have time to play a full chess game, but where is the chess thing? Is that an option in here?
Yeah, you'd have to go back to the start place where we were
The welcome room?
in this room.
Oh, the start space in this.
No, like start space, yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. Okay.
So I'll launch chess.
So I don't think we're actually going to play through a whole game, but
I don't actually know how to play chess, so
oh, you don't?
it's probably not very helpful. No, I actually taught. So I was with someone just before, and they were teaching me how to play, but yeah, I've totally forgotten what they taught me.
Oh, and actually, I can see what you're talking about with the it's all baked in, because this looks like it's just baked with ambient occlusion maps.
Yeah, so currently with 3GS, this it doesn't do any lighting or shading. Supposedly, once they keep improving the web browser integration, all that stuff, then we can do shading and shadows and all that stuff in the actual apps themselves. But
Okay.
for now, we've got to bake them in there.
All right. Well, let's test this out a little bit. Oops. All right. So the pieces do not snap to the board. You do have to kind of manually position them.
Yeah, so I mean, you can move them anywhere. So it really depends, you know.
And I can move them off the table too. So when they're captured, so for instance, if that had been his move and then my move were to capture, I could drag it off.
Take it. Yep.
Okay. I do
So
kind
this kind of stuff, obviously, that works well for different board games as well.
Right. I do rather wish that the knights were actually facing towards the opposite end, but that's a bit of a minor qualm.
It's actually something that that's going to be mentioned too, to rotate them. It's very simple to rotate them. It's just they weren't rotated to start off with, so it's obviously going to be fixed later on.
Okay. But yeah, this is I like this chess set. It's pretty nice. It's very one of my things that I don't like is chess sets that are crazy and like all the pieces are different creatures and it's just hard to tell what's going on. And so I like the nice standard classic black and white pieces, standard shapes. Let's play chess. So, Matthew, I have to say, I really appreciate you taking the time to show me and the chat room around AltspaceVR. This has been great. And, yeah, just thank you.
No problem. If people want to come check it out, you don't need anything special. You can always do it on the desktop mode. But yeah, it's good. It's small at the moment, so you got a lot of interesting people to talk to. So it's not too big yet, where it's you got trolls or anything at the moment. So definitely worth checking out. And yeah, there's always fun, and I'm always around. So if you see me, come say hi.
Yeah, and the same goes for me. If any of you in the chat room are in AltspaceVR and you see me, come say hi. I mean, I think this could be a pretty cool place to hang out. It's free, completely free. All you have to do is create an account with your email address, right?
Yep, and then you're automatically in.
Yeah, I didn't even have to confirm that I got an email from them asking me to confirm.
Yep, you just create an account, email address, you select what your password you want to be, you're done. And then you just download the application and run it.
So, I would recommend if you want to try out a virtual space that is free, and it's kind of getting off on the ground floor at this point if you're going to play. Yeah, check out AltspaceVR. You can play Dungeons and Dragons, you can play chess, you can watch movies with people, all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah, and Altspace has a lot of events as well. They have viewing parties. They've got tech talks. They had stand-up comedy, poem readings, karaoke is probably going to come at some point as well. So there's heaps of stuff you can do, and it's not limited
now,
to what you can think of.
If people wanted to find out when those events were, where would they go?
So if you go to altvr.com, so ALTVR.com, there's a link on the top called events, and that actually tells you what events are up and coming.
Okay.
And when you click on events, there's actually there's a link as well to tell you if anyone's online too, so you can see if people are actually in the space too.
All right. Well, that is pretty great, and I actually feel like this has become like an impromptu interview about AltspaceVR. And I really do appreciate you being a good sport about all that, because you obviously could have just said, you know what, no, I'm going to go off and keep working on my apps, but I really appreciate it, and I'm sure the chat room appreciates you taking time out to show a noob around. And not only to show a noob around, but also to show his buddies on the internet.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm from Australia, so to meet people from different countries and all that stuff and talk to them, it's always fun. So I'm always happy to be up for a talk.
Well, I agree, even though I'm from America.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to take a break now. It's just at the hour mark. So, Matthew, it's been great. I may be on later. I don't know, but I will probably be streaming a actual video game later on if you want to keep watching. I know that you have the stream on your phone, I believe.
Yeah, I'll be watching you in AltSpace while I'm working.
All right. I will talk to you later, and thank you so much again.
No problem. Thanks for that.
All right.
See you guys later.
See you later, and thanks for stopping by, everybody.